All right, Victorum gaming fans and SPQR fans, we're back with our third and final video for the Britons as far as their special scenarios go. So this one's called Peace Between Enemies. While the tribes of Britain knew almost constant warfare in one form or another, the truce was also a common event, two enemies meeting to discuss terms to end current hostilities. However, no warlord worthy of the name would attempt a truce without a decent show of strength, and so entire warbands could be present. The things could go smoothly unless someone did something very stupid. No, never. Who would do that? Never happened in history, of course. So interesting deployment here. So, 12 inches from each of the table edges, so you're kind of smushed more in the middle here. But as you can see, deployment zones basically go up to the middle here. So you're basically right on top of each other. So that is something interesting here. So we'll see what the mission tells us. So equal denarii as is normal. Enemy is the attacker. Here the Briton is the defender. So in contrast to the previous two missions, both players choose up to 2 heroes in their warband and place them in base contact with one another in the middle of the table. Starting with the attacking player, both players take turns to place a unit in their deployment zone. No unit may be placed more than 3 inches away from another unit in the same warband. This continues until all models have been placed. See the special rules to determine who has the first phase. So, let's see here. Place the heroes, So interesting here, if, they're considering the heroes units, then, do you place units 3 inches from the heroes? So that could definitely be pretty rough. So something to consider there. Might have to clarify that a little bit more. Then on to the special rules, and there's definitely a good chunk here. So both players select one hero in the opposing player's force. This hero looks decidedly twitchy to them, and they believe he's about to draw, commit, treachery. That's a weird way to word that. And assassinate one of the negotiators of the truce. Both players make opposed bravery checks for the heroes that were selected. The hero that wins this check may perform a single free action. Both players then roll a dice. The player who rolls the highest takes the first phase of the game. Okay, so yeah, somebody might screw up the truce here. So yeah, both players make that opposed bravery check, and then they perform that free action. So now, interesting, do they get that free action now or afterwards? And then both players roll a dice. The player who wins gets to go first. So definitely a roll that you're going to want to win here. So it seems like everything's going to be very closely deployed and kind of everything's on top of each other. So I think here, whoever gets to be the aggressor, now it says attacker and then the Britons are the defender, but whoever goes first here I think is going to certainly have the advantage. Victory condition. The fight continues until all models in one warband have been removed, either through injury or failure to will a fight. The remaining warband is the victor. So this one is a kill 'em all mission, but with a, excuse me, really funky deployment setup here and kind of an interesting premise. So again, another great way of taking something as simple as just, hey, kill the other side, but adding some interesting features to it. So definitely would be worth clarifying, like an FAQ or something like that. So I would assume, because independent heroes are essentially units, I do believe. So I think you start with going 3 inches away from the heroes, and then on and on and on. So definitely things are going to be bloody pretty early on here. And then the hero that wins this check may perform a single free action. So I would assume again that that's immediate. So you might want to attack that opposing hero, try and kill him, which will then obviously start the battle. Now, you might win that and do your free action, but then if you lose the other roll to go first, you might do some damage to their hero, or try and move away from them or something like that. But, again, the player who gets that final roll and gets the first phase of the game definitely is going to be able to jump on the opponent. So hopefully when you made your deployment, you kind of kept that in mind too. You don't want to leave yourself all that vulnerable to the enemy players. So this final mission for the Brits, pretty cool overall. Again, a kill 'em mission, but kind of dressed up with some interesting pre-game stuff, and the fact again that this is a much smaller, tighter deployment zone here, 12 inches from each side, and everything is again relatively closely bunched up together. So hope you guys enjoyed this little series here on covering the 3 Britain scenarios for SPQR from Warlord Games. So stay tuned for more content.